Has patch 1.4 saved the division? Well, my opinion, honestly, is yes. I think that the game has set a new foundation with this patch. I think it's going to, set the tone for players coming back, and I think it's going to have a positive impact on the game overall. However, if you disagree for various reasons, I would love to hear what they are. Please post in the comments below. This video, this kind of Let's Talk coverage in between patch 1.4 going live and when the PTS ended has been requested quite a bit, and I thought I would indulge for sure and hopefully offer, a platform to launch discussion off of. I personally think that the game has been saved. I think that the foundation of this game is solid now, after a lot of work on the part of Massive, and I want to thank them for that. I think that future content will be built onto a solid foundation now, finally, and as a result of that, it will be more successful than past content. Now, a lot of people disagree. I know that there are some perspectives out there that think that their gear is going to be useless. Now, I completely disagree with that. I think that they're wrong, but the mentality is fair. I understand maybe a little bit why some players may think that, but I will be urging all of my friends to come back to the game. I will be telling them it's easier to get loot now. They're going to have more fun. The scaling is better. They're not going to get killed by stuff that they're not expecting all the time. The bones of this game have been vastly improved with 1.4, and as a result of that, I'm anticipating at least marginally increased player density. Now, marginally increased player density means better PvP in the Dark Zone, means at least one section of players is going to be, more pleasantly engaged by the content, with more people to fight. They're going to have more fun. I think the Dark Zone has been slightly repurposed in the fact that it's no longer the go-to for gear. It never really was. You didn't have to go to the Dark Zone to get the best content or the best gear in the game. A lot of people, mistakenly thought that you did and kind of hated other players for interfering, when in reality they didn't even need to be in there and shouldn't have been in there. But now the Dark Zone is going to be used primarily for PvP, which right there is going to satisfy a large group of players. And then PvE content is now soloable in the vast majority of cases. You're going to get a lot more loot, a lot more gear, which is going to help you upgrade your character, progress at a faster rate, min-max more builds. And just one quick side, question I wanted to clarify. It's actually min-max, not mid-max. And a lot of people are asking me why I constantly use that term and what that means. And actually, to me, it means minimum and maximum, taking and having the minimum in certain attributes so that you can then have the maximum in others, and creating competitive builds based on that fact, having less and more of certain different mechanics so that you can then do the certain role or specific style of play that you want to. Anyway, that's a side tangent. I do believe that the foundation of this build has gotten a severe rework, and severe in a large sense, but not necessarily a bad sense. There's a lot that's changed. It's still the core engine. You're still going to be taking cover. You're still going to be shooting enemies. The enemies still have the same skins, but their damage is different. Your damage is different. The way guns work is different. The handling is different. Overall, a lot of the skills are different. The gear sets are different. And some people are kind of complaining that there's no new content. Well, to me, there is new content. The fact that the content is different, I mean, they took Blind and turned it from a gear set that nobody wanted, nobody cared about, and nobody used, to a gear set that now a lot of people will use, solo players will use in the Dark Zone. You're not going to lose funds, you're not going to lose keys, etc. It's going to be something that people are going to use, they are going to look for, and it does have some strong bonuses. It actually has a duality, to it, where it helps rogues and non-rogues, so people might be using it to go manhunt. There's real diversity, and to me, taking a gear set that previously had nothing, of value on it, that no one used, everyone either sold or deconstructed, and turning it into something that you can definitely use and can definitely build around, is the same thing as new content. So while I don't believe that patch 1.4 in one, giant swoop is going to bring everyone back to the game, I think what it's going to do is set the stage for the future, where many more players will return when content is released onto this now stable foundation, this stable platform. I like to compare the Division to a construction project. They built the foundation, then they started to add floor by floor on top of that, but the foundation was built on quicksand. It was sinking, it was falling apart. Now, one strategy to dealing with that is to build faster and faster and faster as, levels sink, so that you're still, growing on top of it, even though it's sinking at a rapid rate. And I believe that was tried and it failed. And the other solution is to go in, tear up the foundation, start over, and rebuild on top of something that's more solid. I believe that's exactly what they've done, and I'm really excited for the future. Now, again, I would love to open this up to the community for discussion. I know this is kind of, you know, an untraditional video from us at Upper Echelon where there's not really any game knowledge being produced here. We're not trying to teach anybody about things or optimize or builds. This is purely a Let's Talk, so I'm sorry if everyone or if anyone at all, you know, came in expecting something else. But hopefully there's some good information and hopefully some good discussion comes from it. So will you be telling your friends to come back in 1.4? Let me know. I will be doing that. I don't anticipate that all of them will listen, but I think that the stage has been set for the future of this game. There's a high amount of potential, and I do really anticipate 1.4 and think that there is a tremendous amount of positivity that will come from it. The one last thing to overcome is the kind of divisive nature of this game in general. The Dark Zone, really dangerous place. They advertised in the E3 trailer people leaving group and killing each other and stabbing each other in the back, and that's like the final hurdle, I believe, with this game, is players actually overcoming that fact and not taking it personal, or at least, you know, participating in some positive activities from time to time in the Dark Zone, and not always, you know, being just, you know, some kind of backstabbing entity that goes around and picks on players. I'm not saying that that's overly common. You know, there are very few players that actually intentionally go there to grief other people, but just trying to exemplify the Upper Echelon motto, behind every single screen and keyboard is another human being. So we will be organizing a ton of events in the future. The DZ911, which is open for applications right now on Discord, so you can call in agents in our community to come help you in certain circumstances. We'll have, you know, super farming groups with a lot of people. They're not intended to camp checkpoints or go rogue or grief or anything like that. They're purely intended to group up as a large unit and just steamroll through all the PvE content in landmarks and just grab all the gear you can possibly carry. A lot of really positive quality of life events like that are going to be coming out of this organization in the future after 1.4 especially, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you all there. So go ahead and subscribe and, you know, join our communities, Facebook, Discord, all the links are in the description, and hopefully there's a lot of positive, you know, information spread by this video, and also a lot of discussion. I would love to see some discussion of whether or not you're going to be telling your friends about 1.4, whether or not you're going to be coming back in 1.4, whether or not you're even excited for 1.4. So let me know again in the comments below, and thank you for watching. As always, guys, have a nice day.